Welcome to Bourbon School. I'm Marianne.
And I'm Brian, and today we are going to grade, well, taste and grade some Old Soul single barrel bourbon and let you know what we think.
Stay tuned. Bum, bum. Oh, okay, Brian.
Yes.
So we picked this up on our trip to Maine with our kids.
Yes.
You visited a couple of, what is that called? Liquor stores.
They're called liquor stores, yes.
And you were looking for what?
I was looking for single barrels and local stuff and whatever. This is not a local one, but it is a single barrel. It is a pick. So this is
He was trying to find things that we couldn't find here.
That we couldn't get at home.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Just say it.
Well.
So this is Old Soul cask strength, uncut, unfiltered, straight bourbon whiskey. This comes from Cathead Distillery in Mississippi.
Oh.
And this is a distiller's...
Oh, this is what we had with Bob the other day?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
This is a Distiller's Select from Massachusetts, number 003.
Okay.
It is 60.1, so 120.2 proof. And this is a product of Mississippi's oldest distillery. So I have seen Old Soul a lot on the YouTubes and on the interwebs. And I have been very interested in it. So when I saw Old Soul, I knew I was going to grab it.
Sorry, excuse me.
They actually had two single barrels, two like Massachusetts Select single barrels. One was 60 and one was 65. I went with the $65 one. I don't really know what the difference was, except for $5. But so a little bit about Cathead Distillery. It says 44 years after Mississippi repealed Prohibition in 1966, the last U.S. state to do so, Cathead Distillery was founded by a pair of lifelong friends and avid blues fans.
Oh, I love that.
Pulling inspiration from Mississippi, the Gulf Coast, and beyond, Cathead is proud to produce award-winning small batch spirits that give a taste of the South with every sip. They do not just make the bourbon. They make Cathead vodka, Bristow gin, Old Soul bourbon, Hoodoo chicory liqueur.
What the hell is chicory liqueur? I
don't know.
Chicory.
Cathead sparkling and Cathead sunsetters, which I don't know what that is. But I know that Old Soul has been very popular. It's one of these ones from the South that we don't get here, but there's a few. There's Datling, there's Old Soul.
Okay.
There's Good Times and Crittenden's. Like there's
we have a lot of Crittenden's samples.
Well, I shouldn't say little because they are obviously getting known, but there's a lot of these southern distilleries that we can't get here that I am very curious to try. So I was happy to find this. I snagged it right away.
Clearly put a hurtin' on it.
Yeah, we have put a hurtin' on this bottle. It's probably my favorite bottle we bought.
Oh, good.
In Maine.
Because there was the one that I really did not like.
The Wiggly Bridge you didn't like. The maker, or I'm sorry, the
RD?
No, the Knob Creek pick was very good.
Oh, yeah.
I go to this one, obviously, more than that.
So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I really like the story. I like the history.
Yeah.
I think that bodes well for your channel, our channel.
Yeah.
And I like the story of the friends starting the distillery together. That's cool. That's something that resonates with me.
This is MGP. It's distilled in Indiana, aged and bottled by Cathead Distillery in Jackson, Mississippi.
And Brian loves MGP.
They source it, and that was the other thing. I knew it was MGP. I knew it was kind of at the right proof point, so I had a feeling I would like it.
Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Here we go.
So it's classic, like MGP bourbon.
Okay, I thought you were going to say classic bourbon. Now, we just did a mystery box times 3. I mean, it took us 3 takes. And upon smelling this compared to what the mystery box was, and by the way, if you want to see our mystery box videos, check us out on Patreon.
On Patreon, yeah.
But this does not smell as sweet as the other one. But it does have a classic bourbon nose.
This is high rye. I believe this is 21% rye, so it's considered a high rye bourbon. Okay. So you might not get as much sweetness off the nose, a little more spice off the nose.
I get an ethanol.
It smells great.
Yeah. I agree, but it's got that ethanol scent for sure. Scent? Is scent the right word? Am I supposed to say nose? Aroma.
The nose. Okay. This to me is a classic, like 115 to 120 glass of MGP bourbon.
Okay.
This reminds me of like Doc Swinson's Blender's Cut. It reminds me of Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. It reminds me of Penelope Barrel Strength. Like They all have this really very nice, smooth
and mild,
sweet flavor, but it does bring in some spice from the rye. It is, I think, a like quintessential bourbon.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
And also, I'm glad we did that Ezra mystery box right before this, because it was so darn sweet. And I'm always saying to myself, I really love a sweet bourbon.
Yeah.
But now I suppose I don't. Like this, the taste of this is eons above, exponentially better than the Ezra we just tasted.
There is more depth in this one. There's more
100%.
layers of flavor in
Yes.
this than that old Ezra.
Because I think I am willing to give up some sweetness in my pour of bourbon for more flavor.
Yep.
And that Ezra that we tasted was very one-noted, and this one has absolutely a depth. The first thing I thought of was a pecan pie with this one, but not that sickening sweet pecan pie. Just
because you get that like kind of not, well, a little bit of nuttiness, but like the pecans, especially the rind of the pecan, has a little bit of dusty bitterness to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
It's exceptional.
delicious, and I really am so glad that we did in the order that we tasted. Lauren always says the order matters. So when we do blinds on the channel, we always go left to right, and then we pause, and then we go right to left. And I think in this case, tasting this after that sweeter bourbon really lets me gives my palate a good eye opener.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is super balanced. I would love to try this up against maybe a Penelope barrel strength and a Doc Swinson's Blender's Cut and just see. I mean, I know this is a single barrel, but I would love to see how, to me, it drinks very much like those ones. And that's why I think I like it.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of my
wheelhouse.
favorite bottle of bourbon, besides like an Old Forester single barrel, is like MGP that's between like 115 and 120. I think that is a guaranteed crowd pleaser no matter what.
This is so good.
It's good.
I would also say that it does not finish bitter. And
Not
so
at all.
where you're thinking it might not be a sweet bourbon, it does not finish bitter. It has a beautiful smooth ending that ends with a nice burn.
Yeah. The only notes that you get that aren't sweet are from the rye. It's like a pepperiness and a little bit of spice. Like I think it is a nicely balanced bottle.
I couldn't agree more. And now you said you bought this for $65.
$65,
right?
which is on par with Doc Swinson's Blender's Cut would be $50. A Penelope barrel strength is $65.
I think you just got yourself a great new blind video for this channel.
I would like to throw this. I would at least like to try it against a Penelope barrel strength.
No, let's do all three. Well, I say we buy those bottles.
Okay.
And we do a blind.
All right. So you got to give it a grade. We'll put the grading scale up right here, so you can see how we grade them. And go ahead and tell them what you think.
Okay, I want to take one more sip.
Okay. I will do the same because it's delicious.
And also Brian says you have to taste like 4 or 5 times.
Like 5 sips to really get a feel for it.
Okay, that's a solid A-.
Yeah.
For the price, for the taste, I think it is really delicious.
Yeah.
And again, I might be being unfair because we just did that other recording. I just like it so much better than what we just tasted.
Yeah.
So A- for me.
I'll go A. Like I think that might be because this really is, this is my wheelhouse.
Yep.
For just like an everyday sipper. I know some people would say like 120 proof isn't an everyday sipper, but that's kind of where we are.
Now, yeah, for sure. All three of us really don't like those lower proof bourbons anymore.
I mean, I would pour this any day of the week, sitting down the deck, whatever, sitting at watching a show. Like
Talk
this
to me,
is
baby.
this is a pour that I would just go to.
The reason why I gave it an A-, I like bourbons that are between $40 and $50.
Yeah.
I just like to
65.
get 65 is not a lot over my what I enjoy price wise, so I wouldn't be unwilling to pay this. But that's why I gave it the A-. Flavor wise, it's a solid A, but for you factor in the price, I'm going to go A-. $65 is again not expensive. It's not crazy. I would still buy it.
Yeah.
I just like a $40 or $50 bottle better. That's all.
65 I think is, for me, I think it's fair what you're getting. I
Sure.
think it's very good. And it's in line with other bottles like it. So I'm not mad at the price.
I think we better take it east with this bottle.
Here, let me throw something at you.
Okay.
The Nulu, which is also MGP and was 115 proof.
We did not like that one.
And this is like a $90 bottle.
And we hated it, right?
Now this...
Am I right? Tell me if I'm right.
I thought it was fine MGP, but because it was double oaked, we did not like it.
Right, we did this on the live stream,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
This is a single barrel. It's supposed to be double oaked. It's not. But this is a MGP at 115 proof.
This is
so
far
similar.
superior.
This is way better,
Yep.
and it's about $30 less.
Oh,
So
winner.
this is when I start to say, no, I
Mm-hmm.
can't grade it well because of price. This, I think, is right in line because it's, like I said, it's in line with the Penelope barrel strength and other things like it. So
You're smart.
I'm going to give it an A.
Okay.
You give it an A minus. Either way, it's a great bottle.
Great bottle. If
I
you
would
see
say
it, scoop it up.
If you see Old Soul, it's a buy.
100%.
I think they're doing, so far, I mean, this is the only Old Soul I've ever had, but this would make me want to buy more Old Soul.
I was just going to say, if you find more Old Soul,
Yep.
please send Brian
sure.
more samples
All right, guys, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell for notifications.
so you never miss another episode of Bourbon School.
All right.
Cheers, my love.
To an Old Soul, me.
That's me too.